What's up, everyone? Welcome to Three Chicks in a Pod / Chicks and Salsa. We got four of us here tonight, 4 out of 5. Before we jump into the show, one of our fifth chick isn't here right now, and we just want to send out condolences to her family and everything that they're dealing with. We're definitely thinking about you guys. We obviously had the Super Bowl this past Sunday, but you know what, guys? We got a lot of other sports stuff going on as well. Let's start off first with how's everybody's week going? Dawn just got here. She just got in from the Super Bowl.
Yes. Other than that, I had a great week.
Awesome. Jen, how's your week going?
It's going pretty good, thank you. How about yours?
Good.
And yours, Candy?
Busy as always, and the end of the NFL season is always the announcement of my favorite time of year. It's when NBA gets real serious. We're getting really close to conference tournaments and NCAA, so it's basketball season, y'all. That's my favorite time of year. And Candy, how's your week going?
Yeah, I know it's a fun time of year.
Let's see.
Somebody straight talking NBA with me, and I'm like, dude, we're coming off Super Bowl week. I haven't paid attention this week. Did y'all see the Pistons Hornets fight though?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Andy, what did you do this past week?
Me, I'm trying to recover. We went to the Senior Bowl in Mobile,
Right.
Alabama, and it was like 30 degrees. And my husband came home sick, and now he passed it on to me. So I'm trying to get over this. Whatever.
Okay, you stay over there.
That's why we're doing that too,
right? One of those moments you can be thankful for a virtual studio.
Yes.
All right, well, let's go ahead and kind of jump in with the heavy topic, Jen. I know that there has been some stuff going on in the ACC concerning women's basketball, so let's jump in it real quick.
So this kind of just came out, at least to me. Like it came out at 6:38 p.m. Eastern time. So as you guys know, actually all four of us are ACC. So Carrie's the only odd woman out here. But unfortunately, 6 former University of Pittsburgh women's basketball players have filed individual lawsuits against the school. Tory Verdi on Friday. And they're alleging abusive coaching methods by Verdi, Title IX violations, and failure by the school to act after university officials. And they were saying, and the lawsuits obtained by the Athletic were filed in the Western District of Pennsylvania by Faber Iredell, Raven Boswell, Michaela Elmore, Brooklyn Miles, Bella Perkins, and Jasmine Timerson. I feel like I interviewed at least 2 of these ladies. I may be making that up in my head, but I do.
No,
think
I'm
that
sure we
ago.
were spread out during tip off, so I'm sure that we've talked to some of these ladies.
The names like just are sounding. And they're saying that he has subjected players to a hostile environment and that he engaged in verbal abuse and body shaming, showed hostility towards mental health concerns, and he retaliated against players who spoke up about his behaviors. For the University of Pittsburgh, said that the university is aware of these lawsuits and their allegations. Verdi's attorney, Matthew Rakunas, Racunas, cannot pronounce, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He's saying that obviously the claims against the coach are entirely without me. But they're also saying that they're listing Assistant Vice President Chancellor for Compliance Investigations and Ethics, Laurel Gift, and former Athletic Director Heather Like, and a team doctor. Each lawsuit also has brought in a former assistant coach who is now at Boston College, who apparently reported Verdi to Pitt's human resources and senior administrators. And that's John Markham. And for the 6 lawsuits, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought you were saying something. I'm sorry. For the 6 lawsuits, describe a pregame meal in which Verdi allegedly told an international player to go back home because ICE is coming.
Oh,
5 of the suits allege that Verdi attempted to create or exploit racial divisions on the team. And Perkins' lawsuit alleges she was routinely denied adequate medical care. And then after confiding in a team doctor, she received harsher treatment leading up to her removal from the team. The Pennsylvania right to know law exempts state-related universities, including the University of Pittsburgh, from some of the public record requirements of most institutions. So this sounds bad. No, of course, when you're a current
How many
player,
ladies did you say? Was it
nice.
how many ladies did you say?
6 former athletes.
So six former.
And
okay.
Here's my thing, but like everybody that I've talked to at Pitt on the women's basketball side seemingly loves him. So for me to wrap my mind around that, but then when they're bringing in a assistant head coach who literally left the school, I don't know. There's something. There might be something there.
It's
so
6. It's not just one person. It's 6.
Exactly.
people.
It's 6.
Yeah. That.
Mhm.
That is
I would-
And
concerning.
then one
like
comment,
to-
he had to have made it about
I would
ISIS
like to see
coming.
the
He
school
had to have
be
made that
more
comment.
supportive of the players and not automatically sit there and say that the lawsuit has no merit. I would like for the institution to sit there and say that they're trying to investigate it more and that they want to make sure that these things aren't happening. And I don't think you throw your coach under the bus by saying that, but you also don't throw your student athletes under the bus either. And so I would like for them to take a more diplomatic approach instead of what seems like could be on the verge of victim shaming, which, I do not fool with whatsoever. So, disappointing, and I guess we will cover it more as it develops more, but a very disappointing story to be coming out of Pitt University.
It really is, because Verdi.
Oh no, Jen cut
we
out.
lost Jen.
Yeah, her internet has been cutting out a little bit. So, Candy, do you have any input on this?
No, I mean, I guess it's sad to even think that we're talking about this. Like,
Right.
that it happened.
Correct.
Like, whether it's happened or not, we don't know. We're not part of the institution. I just hope we get to the truth, because sometimes, we've heard both sides of it where people have falsely accused,
Right.
And so I just hope that there's a good investigation and then they get to the bottom of it and the truth.
I agree. I agree. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
it's 6 women saying this, but definitely I hope that they really investigate it and not just, sweep it under the rug and go, try to act like the allegations haven't happened. And they get to the bottom of it. And yeah. And I really hope this coach was not doing these things to these young ladies.
Goodness. Jen, was there anything else
Me
that you
too.
wanted to
And here's
add?
my thing also.
Okay.
What about, is there a potential HIPAA violation there?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. Absolutely.
And because
Hmm.
I mean, and I don't know, but I mean, I think it could be.
Yeah, could be a HIPAA violation. So I would definitely like to follow that story and see how this turns out. And if it brings on new laws, I mean, new conversations and within the system.
Well, and I think you guys know how much we appreciate Title IX, and how it changes every year. There's new parts to it. It changes every year, and how important it is to
Mhm.
all of us here. So to hear that there were Title IX violations, it's definitely something that, piqued my interest. Like, okay, well, we're definitely going to pay attention to this. So.
Correct.
Well, let's slide
Yeah.
over to the finale of the NFL season for 2025. We had the Seattle Seahawks versus the Patriots, both kind of new in some of their areas. We've got McDonald over with the Seahawks, and he's been there 2 years, correct? Vrabel, not a new coach, but new to the Patriots in the coaching
Right.
aspect. He did play for them. Drake May, this is his second year with the Patriots, so he's still quite young within his NFL career. On the other side of things, Sam Darnold, kind of a journeyman when it comes to quarterbacks, and he finally got somewhere where he really shined. Obviously, we saw him do well in Minnesota, but there were question marks at the way the season ended last year, or whether that steam was going to hold up for him. And obviously it did really well there in Seattle for him this year. The Seahawks only lost 3 games this season. They lost to the Niners in week 1. It was a close game, 17-13. They lost to the Bucks on October 5th, another close game, 38-35. And then they lost to the Rams in a close game on November 16th, 21-19. So that is a 4 + 2, 6. So they only lost by 7 points total out of all 3 of those games added together. So, obviously a very good team.
And you know what was,
go ahead.
and what else was interesting is the Seahawks were actually, I think, 31st in the league in turnovers in the regular season. But in the postseason, they had none.
Very good.
Very good.
So, and I will say, like, their road to the Super Bowl, let's see, they beat the Niners in fantastic fashion. Cowboys fans are thankful. 41-6. Then the Seahawks beat the Rams in the conference championship, 31-27. And then obviously the Super Bowl was so dominant. Now the score makes it looks like it was a little bit closer than what it actually was. Most of the entire game, it was a shutout. And so let's go ahead and kind of break down the game itself. And then also, Dawn, let's talk about what you did this week, because you were there for Media Row and then also the game as well.
So, yeah. Watching the game itself, you almost, I hate to say this, almost felt bad for the Patriots because they just were not getting their footing. They really didn't get their footing until mid fourth quarter. I mean, just be honest. It almost was making you second guess. How did they get here? Because they just were not playing their best, which sometimes that happens. I mean, teams get there and you're like, it's the big dance and they're not performing on the big screen. I do think that the majority of the U.S. wanted the Seahawks to win. Sounds crazy, but it just seems like you asked everybody, and it's like the only people I felt like who wanted the Patriots to win were the people who were from Boston. It wasn't.
I'll be honest. I picked them to win. I didn't necessarily want them to win. I didn't really care. I didn't have, I'm a Cowboys fan. But I'm also a huge Mike Vrabel fan just because of how he treats women in sports. And so I wouldn't have mind seeing them do well, because this is not the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady cheating Patriots. This is not that era anymore. So I wouldn't have mind seeing them win. But the game was just, the Seahawks defense was just oppressive for New England. So yeah, it was rough.
It was really, really rough. And honestly, it was rough to watch. It was really, I mean, to be honest, it was really rough to watch. And now we have this joke, because nobody wanted the Chiefs to be in it, and they were like, okay, so this is what you guys got because we weren't there. So you got I mean, it was a lackluster game. Like, I mean, just to be
It was.
honest, it wasn't. You thought, oh, okay, there's two new teams. It's not the Chiefs, it's not the Eagles, it's something new. And it was like, okay, the most excitement was Bad Bunny.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? I'll be honest. I've heard so much about the halftime show that I don't want to talk about it. I'm sick of it. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the
Yes.
halftime show, but I don't want to talk about it at all. Like I think
Yeah.
everybody's going
So,
crazy about it.
but yeah. But as for like leading up to Super Bowl, I spent a couple of days on Radio Row. So, and talked to a lot of the players. Kevin on stage, I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's a comedian, kind of came to fame. He was there. So I got to talk to him briefly. Went to the NFL Business Networking, and that was where that picture was from. Isa played for the Chiefs and a couple of other teams, and I
Okay.
joked with him. I'm like, standing next to you, I still look extremely short, and I had on heels. Um, and But I will say, going to the Taste of the NFL and being able to see current and former players and getting my football signed by them was really a treat. That's always a good treat to go to. You got food, you got football players, and drinks. What better mix? And spent some time went to the Pro Bowl. So got to see Shador Sanders play. That's all the mascots. They were there hanging out.
That's cute.
And it was really exciting. Even though it was only flag football, it was really good to see the players relaxed and
Right.
laughing and not taking it so serious. Um, it was a really good treat to go and watch them just have some fun, for once. And so they laughed with each other, joked about things on the during the game. Um, I would say there was, a few other. There's so much going on during Super Bowl week, and so that was at the Business and Networking. And you had several of the guys talk about their businesses that they have now and the jobs that
Right.
they do after they leave the NFL, because that is a big topic about what happens when they leave.
Right.
That was from the Off the Field Fashion Show, and Godfrey, the comedian, was one of the participants there. That's a big charity event because it's the wives and significant other of current and former players, and all the money for the fashion show is donated to local charities. So they gave to the Boys and Girls Club of San Francisco and two other charities. So the money goes to them. And they choose a charity, whatever city the Super Bowl is in, they choose a charity.
Okay. That's cool.
So that's pretty cool. So that's from the Taste of the NFL, which is always a cool event. Chef Carla it's her baby. She helped start that, so she's always there. And it was just
Who,
an
Mary,
overall.
Anne Marie Cawthron?
um, Carla, Chef Carla, she's there. But it's an overall, I
Okay,
would say, Super Bowl is
okay, so
just
she's
a
in charge
fun
of the
week.
PR side.
No, she is the chef
I'm glad
that's
you had
helped.
fun.
Yeah. So it was a fun week. That is, I went to the San Francisco 49ers host committee. They had a party, and that was one of the backdrops. So of the party was all the footballs. We got to tour the stadium on Wednesday, and we also got a chance to eat all the food that was going to be served for the suites and for the concessions at the Super Bowl. So overall, it was a great week.
What
And now,
was your favorite part? What sticks out? Because you've been to how many Super Bowls?
I've been to 15.
Okay. So
Um,
what sticks out about this one?
this one was a little different. The city, being in San Francisco, was a little different. However, I think for me, um, that bit the bit when it comes to outside of the game, I think the NFL business networking event was one of the best
Mhm.
events I attended, because you talk about after the game. It's after
Right.
they stop playing. It's all the things that they do after. It's all the things that the NFL offers them after. So if they don't finish college and they come to the draft and they start playing, well, they have the opportunity to go back to college and
Right.
get their bachelor's, or they have the opportunity to go get their master's. They have all the opportunities that are there for them to help them succeed after, is really interesting. And it shows, the next, it's what they call the next level of what they're going to do. And because you figure the average career is about 3 to 5 years in the NFL.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what are they going to do next? So that's one of the fun things. I think the flag football game, if you can go to that, I think that's fun. I think the parades that they have around the city are a lot of fun. Opening night, I think, is a good opportunity for someone who can't go to the game, but you get a chance to see the players on opening night, and that's on Mondays every year, at the
Mhm.
stadium. And I think it's like $5 or $10 to get in. And they have, a performance. They have everything for the actual fans. So the actual fans get to be a part of Super Bowl week. Um, Even though there are things that are costly, there's a lot of things for the week that they have that don't cost,
Very
or at
cool.
minimal cost for the fans to get to enjoy, and be a part of Super Bowl.
So, Candy, what was your favorite part of the Senior Bowl? Because we haven't had a chance to talk about that either.
I know that looked like fun.
It,
Right.
it is because the unique thing about the Senior Bowl was after they had practices Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they split
Mhm.
the teams in half. So they had the national team and the American team, and they each had their own practice. And after practice, the media could go down on the field, and you had 10 minutes to interview as many players as you wanted to, or take pictures, or just talk to one. And I think
Mhm.
that was a really neat experience because I think you got to see a different side of them because they're away from their
Mhm.
team. They're just talking about what they want to do in the future, and trying to impress NFL scouts and all that. We,
Mhm.
we talked to, and yes, I understand. I know I'm a big Wisconsin fan, so obviously we talked to a Wisconsin kid. But after
Right.
we talked to the Wisconsin kid, we went back up to the stands to watch the next practice, and this lady comes up to Scott and I and said, can I ask where you're from, and what you're doing and who you're with? And, of course, we told her, and we said we're from the South Florida Tribune, and we asked why she was asking. Well, she was the mom of the Wisconsin kid and wanted to know where she could see the interview that we had just done on the field. And you don't see that, like that interaction with families and the kids, any other place that I've
I
seen.
like that. I like that.
Really liked that. Yeah, it was cool.
I would
So,
like to go next year.
hey, they hold it in Mobile, Alabama every year. So come on, we're gonna go.
Okay.
We loved it. So
Okay. I'm
whether
gonna
I
we,
can't
make
believe it
plans
was
to be
that
there.
cold.
it was the Arctic cold blast that came
Oh
down
my
that hit the
gosh.
whole country. That's
Yeah, the one I had to catch a flight 2 days
That you got
prior so
ahead
I
of.
could miss. I gotta get
exactly
up.
Don't you
exactly.
love when travel plans go like that? Like you have to emergency take a last minute ticket. I'm sure that was
You
whoa.
know, no,
Trying
no, 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 it wasn't. So just so you guys know, like people always ask me, how are you always traveling? And so probably for the last, I think it's 3 years, I've had a Frontier Airlines Go Wild Pass. So I
oh.
literally hopped on a plane from Charlotte to Phoenix for $15.
Wow.
Last
Oh my
minute flight,
gosh.
$15.
Wow.
Got me there, on Friday so that I could, and of course Southwest let me switch my ticket, and I went from
Okay.
Phoenix to, San Francisco that Sunday. But yeah, because if I had stayed in Charlotte, well, there were 14 inches of snow. I might not made it till Tuesday or
Right.
Wednesday to Super Bowl, and I literally was like, I got to get out of here before I get this storm. And yeah, so I literally fly for, I mean, I know everybody has their choice of airlines, but I literally use my Go Wild Pass all the time.
Look, no, I'm
And
writing
like,
this down. Go wow.
yeah, I paid for a Go Wild Pass and it has been my best friend for the last 3 years. And I just hop on a plane.
Look, I live in the middle of nowhere, so we don't have direct flights at all. We don't have Frontier. We don't have Spirit. We don't have any of the cheaper airlines. So, like, I would still have to like pay for a decent price ticket just to get to Dallas or to Denver. But after that, I'm going to jump on a cheap plane. Thank you for letting me know.
Exactly.
Because
So,
it has been
yeah.
costing me about $700 to $900 to fly anywhere lately. So,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, Candy, you put me down. I am coming to the Senior Bowl next year with you.
Sounds
Um,
good. More the merrier.
definitely, because I think that'll be a lot of fun, and I get more football.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
now
Well, I know we
everybody's
had-
at 0.
Now, I know that we had a different happy story lined up because for Jen, and real quick, I'll go ahead and shout out the score. UNC beat Duke this past weekend, 71 to 68. UNC coming in at number 11 right now, Duke at number 4, so a big win for them. But also this upcoming weekend, we got NBA All-Star, and I know it doesn't hold the same kind of weight with the festivities that it used to. This year they are doing the World versus USA, so that's exciting. I know SGA will not be playing this year, so this is the first time in 4 years that we won't see SGA out there. So that's somewhat disappointing. Now I'm super happy that Wemby made it. However, I kind of think that they missed the mark not getting De'Aaron Fox to the All-Star as well. So now, however, we got Stephon Castle, who's going to be in the Rising Stars game, and he is the reigning defending Rookie of the Year. And the kid just put up a 40-point triple-double the other night against Orlando, 40, 12, and 12. So exciting
Cannot wait
watch.
to see him this weekend play. Cannot wait.
Oh, you're going to be there for that too.
No, I am not going. I'm just going to.
Oh, you're just watching.
I'm just
Okay.
watching. Yeah, I'm just watching. I would love to do the All-Star weekend again, but yeah, that might have to be on the.
I've been as a fan
list.
the last time they were in Houston, but I have not gone as media to that. Now I've done the WNBA All-Star a couple of times, and I think that we're going to see some WNBA appearances at the NBA. I have heard from a couple of inside sources that we're going to see some picketing from the W ladies.
Oh,
I love it. Use the leverage that you have right now, because you've never had as much leverage as you have right now. So do it, get publicized, be seen, and get paid.
yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, I did a little, I told the score of the game, but you can go ahead and recap Duke UNC real quick.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties.
It happens.
Beat a couple of Duke led the entire game, and that's kind of a tough feat at the Dean Dome. It's also hard for when Carolina wins at Cameron Indoor Stadium, because this is the oldest national rivalry, and the reason is not just because they're blue bloods, but because Duke Carolina was the first basketball game ever televised. And not only was it locally televised, it was nationally televised. Now, there's some older school rivalries, 100%, but not national and not to this level. So that being said, Duke was banging it out the entire game. Like, there was some out of respect there. And at the very end, do not ever doubt Seth Trimble. Seth Trimble is going to be one of the greats. Truly, he is. He already is one of the best collegiate basketball players out there. And super nice guy. He did something super sweet for my husband. So huge fan of Seth, and I will always be a fan of Seth for personal reasons and for Carolina reasons. But 1 second to go. Talk about a buzzer beater. Seth gets a 3-pointer. Swish. It was pretty. But then there was still 0.4 of a second left. But the Tar Heels had already stormed the stadium, stormed the floor. So then they waited a while to clear the floor too, and to say, like, make the actual announcement. So when they did, then they had to wait longer to like clean the floor again, get people off the floor, clean it. One of the Duke assistant head coaches, though, did end up bloodied. Like, he got trampled, and that's not good.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And
so they're gonna
I
have
know
to figure out. I think they're gonna have to do a no tolerance rule on rushing the.
they have. ACC did that 2 years ago. I was about to say that. Carolina's getting fined.
Like serious, like $1 million every time or something. Like, it's got to be more serious than this. You got to figure it out.
Carolina's already been fined.
Like when
Carolina
when
was fined on Sunday by the ACC.
Like when
Plus, the Duke coach that was hurt is out of the. I don't know if he ever went to the hospital or not, but he's better. He probably was sent to the hospital. I mean, he was trampled. Let's not kid ourselves. And Carolina and Duke both have 2 phenomenal hospitals. So he was in great medical care. But honestly, as awesome and epic as that victory was, I felt a little bit bad for the players and Coach Shire. Really, because they led the entire game. But never doubt the rivalry between Duke and Carolina. Like, it is there. People know in football, it's Michigan and Ohio. And basketball, it's Duke and Carolina. There's some others that are close. I won't deny that. But at the end of the day, it's Duke and Carolina. Like, they are the number 1 collegiate rival. And it's kind of a cool backstory. But it was really fun to watch. And it was like everybody was gasping their breath.
All right, guys. Well, I
always
think that wraps this
come
up.
to where, when you get a chance, come to where basketball was created. University of Kansas.
Right, yes.
Allen Fieldhouse.
Actually,
that
was actually in Boston.
Nope, it was
Don, it
us.
was actually created in Boston, but we won't discuss that.
It was us. And we beat Arizona. We beat the number 1 team in Allen Fieldhouse. So hey.
Woo!
And I'm gonna say my feel good story is the Boys of Summer report starting on Thursday.
Yes.
Oh, and Candy, one of your ACC teams is currently beating one of my ACC teams.
Okay.
Miami's currently beating Carolina.
Okay.
It's early. It's halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for us this week. Make sure you guys come back next week. Same time, same place. Appreciate everybody that watched or commented. And we will see y'all next week.
All right. You guys have a great week.
You too.